Superman is the most iconic hero in comic book history. He's the standard, the symbol, the one everyone else is compared to. And in a world full of complicated characters and shifting moral lines, he still represents something simple and powerful: hope. And with the new Superman movie finally out, starring David Corenswet, we're seeing a return to that essence. And it feels like the perfect moment to revisit what this character really means. Superman isn't great because of what he can do. He's great because of what he chooses to do. He has the power to destroy entire cities, to bend steel, to fly faster than light. And yet, he chooses to help. He chooses kindness. He could rule over humanity without resistance, but instead, he works as a journalist. He walks among people. He lives with humility. What makes him truly powerful isn't his strength, it's his character. When the world is on fire, he runs into it. Not for attention, not for praise, but because someone needs help. And it's not just about the big world-ending threats. Superman saves people from burning buildings. He helps animals in danger. He comforts children in fear. He does the small things, the everyday things. And he does them because they matter. Superman isn't trying to be a god. He's trying to be a good man. And that's far more difficult. It's easy to be kind when things are going well. It's easy to help when it doesn't cost you anything. But Superman chooses to do the right thing even when it's hard, even when he's tired, even when no one else will. That moral clarity, that commitment to goodness, that's what sets him apart. And it forces us to ask a tough question. If you had his powers, limitless strength, flight, invincibility, would you actually use them for good? Would you help people, or would you take the shortcut? Be honest. Think about it, because Superman isn't just a fantasy. He's a test, a mirror. He shows us who we could be if we chose to be better, every single day. He's not perfect, but he tries, always. And in that way, he gives us something that feels rare. Today's stories are filled with anti-heroes, characters who are flawed, conflicted, sometimes even cruel. And that's become the norm, because it feels more realistic, more gritty, more modern. But in the middle of all that darkness, Superman still shines as a reminder of something different, something rare. A hero who isn't driven by revenge or ego, but by principle, by heart. Some people call him outdated, too perfect, too boring. But the truth is, Superman isn't easy to live up to. And that's exactly the point. He represents an ideal. He's who we should want to be. In a cynical world, choosing to be good isn't naive. It's revolutionary. Because doing the right thing when everyone's watching, that's easy. But doing the right thing when no one notices, when there's no reward, when the world calls you weak for it, that's hard. And Superman does it anyway. He doesn't save just the important people. He saves everyone, rich or poor, young or old, human or animal. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. If you need help, Superman shows up. And that's not weakness. That's strength. He doesn't need to be edgy. He doesn't need to be feared. His strength comes from his values, from the people who raised him, from the belief that kindness still matters, that truth still matters, that hope is always worth holding on to. In a time when the world seems divided and loud and angry, Superman reminds us that goodness isn't weakness. It's power under control. It's the choice to stand up when it's easier to walk away. And maybe that's why people struggle with him, because he asks more of us. He challenges us to be better, kinder, and more human. When Zack Snyder introduced his version of Superman, played by Henry Cavill, it was bold, cinematic, and visually stunning. But it was also different. That Superman was more distant, more conflicted. He was powerful, yes, but he often seemed burdened by that power. He was treated like a god, or a threat, and that weight showed in every scene. He didn't smile much. He barely connected with people. You could feel that he didn't quite belong. And while some fans loved that darker take, others felt something was missing. Not in terms of action or drama, but in terms of heart. Because Superman isn't supposed to feel above us. He's supposed to feel with us. That's what makes his power meaningful. The fact that he chooses to stay close to humanity, even when he could fly above it all. Now, with the release of the new Superman movie and David Corenswet stepping into the cape, we're seeing a return to that emotional core. This version of Superman feels human again. He smiles, he listens, he connects. He still has doubts and struggles, but they don't harden him. They deepen him. The movie, from beginning to end, shows a hero who genuinely cares about the world around him. He's not focused on killing villains, but on containing them and even trying to help them. He's constantly saving people, even animals, showing compassion for everything and everyone. He truly wants what's best, always. And that's what makes this new portrayal so important. It captures the balance, strength and softness, power and humility, confidence and kindness. It brings back the Superman who believes in people, the one who doesn't just fight evil, he inspires good. It's not a rejection of what came before. The Snyder version explored something raw and emotional, but this new take reminds us of why Superman became a symbol in the first place, why he's the light, why he's the one heroes look up to, not just because of what he can do, but because of who he is. David Corenswet brings that back, the warmth, the idealism, the hope. He feels like Clark Kent again, someone who could sit across from you in a small-town coffee shop and genuinely care about what's going on in your life. And when he becomes Superman, it's not about showing off, it's about showing up. This movie doesn't just reintroduce a character, it reintroduces a feeling, that quiet belief that someone out there is watching over us, not for control, not for power, but because they care. And in a time where trust is fragile and cynicism is everywhere, that might be the most heroic thing of all. The beauty of Superman isn't just in what he does, it's in what he teaches us. You don't need to lift cars or shoot lasers from your eyes to make a difference. Superman reminds us that being good isn't about having power, it's about choosing to use whatever you do have to help someone else. And that's something all of us can do. You can't fly, but you can show up when someone needs support. You can't hear cries for help across the planet, but you can notice when a friend goes quiet. You don't need super strength to lift someone's spirit. Being like Superman doesn't mean being perfect. It means choosing the right thing, even when it's not the easiest option. That's how we bring Superman's values into the real world, not through grand gestures, but through small choices, daily actions that add up to something bigger. And when enough people live that way, when kindness becomes the habit, not the exception, that's when real change happens. That's when we become the kind of people Superman believes we can be. Because at the end of the day, Superman doesn't just save people, he believes in them. He believes in us. And the best way we can honor that is by becoming someone worth believing in. And what's really fascinating is when you place Superman next to his greatest enemy, Lex Luthor. Lex is brilliant, ambitious, driven. In many ways, he's the peak of human potential, but that's the irony. He's less human than Superman will ever be. Lex is obsessed with power, control, and proving his superiority. He sees Superman as a threat, not because Clark is dangerous, but because he challenges Lex's worldview, because no one should have that much power and still be good, still be selfless, still care. To Lex, Superman is a problem that doesn't make sense. But to the rest of us, Superman is a reminder that character matters more than capability, that humility is more powerful than pride, that being human isn't about blood or biology, it's about compassion, about sacrifice, about hope. Lex Luthor represents what happens when intellect is disconnected from empathy. Superman represents the opposite. He has the power of a god, but the heart of a man. He could look down on us, but he doesn't. He chooses to walk beside us, to protect, not to dominate, to serve, not to rule. That's the ultimate paradox. The alien from another planet is more human than the man born on Earth. And maybe that's the real lesson here. It's not about how much you know or how much power you have. It's about what you choose to do with it. Lex uses his gifts to elevate himself. Superman uses his to lift others. In the end, Superman's greatest strength isn't flight, heat vision, or invincibility. It's his heart. It's the unshakable belief that people are worth saving, that even in a broken world, there is good, and that it's our responsibility to protect it. Now let me ask you something, and be honest with yourself for a second. When was the last time you helped someone even when there was nothing in it for you? No reward, no recognition, just a quiet moment where you chose to do the right thing simply because it was right. That's your Superman moment. And maybe you didn't notice it at the time. Maybe it felt small or unimportant, but those little choices, they matter. That's how real change begins. That's how heroes are made, not with capes or powers, but with heart. with everyday decisions to be better, kinder, braver. So if you've ever done something like that, big or small, drop a comment. Let's fill this space with real stories of goodness. Let's remind each other that Superman isn't just fiction. His spirit lives in us, if we're willing to act on it. Your moment might inspire someone else to create theirs. We don't need powers to be like him. We just need to care a little more, try a little harder, do a little better. Because the world doesn't need more perfect people. It needs more good people.